Example 7. With the tailwind, a plane can fly 960 miles in 3 hours. Going against the wind, the plane can fly the same distance in 9 hours. What are the wind speed and the airspeed of the plane? Okay, so what we have is we have an airplane. If it's a tailwind, it takes 3 hours to cover 960 miles. And if it's a headwind, it takes 4 hours to cover the same distance. So let A be equal to the airspeed and W be equal to the wind speed. We also know that the ground speed is going to be the airspeed plus or minus the wind speed, depending whether it's a tailwind or a headwind. Okay, let's look at the table here. So if it's a tailwind, the ground speed or the rate is going to be the airplane plus the wind speed, right? Because it's coming from the tail end, it's kind of pushing the airplane, so the speed should be increasing, right? It's going to be the wind speed plus the airplane speed. If it's a headwind, it's going to be a subtraction. It's going to be A minus W because the wind is kind of pushing the airplane backwards. The time it takes to cover that 960 miles, if it's with a tailwind, is 3 hours. And then with the headwind, it's 4 hours. The distance is going to be rate times time. So your rate times the time, so 3 times A plus W. And then for this one would be 4 times A minus W. So this is what we have. Now we know that the distance that is covered by the airplane within that 3 hours is 960 miles. So you take this distance and you set it equal to 960, and then you do the same thing with this one. Because it's covering the same distance, we can set it equal to 960 as well. Now, we have two equations with two unknown variables. So we're going to use either the substitution or elimination method. Let's go ahead and divide the first equation by 3. That gets you A plus W must be equal to 320. And then we can do the same thing with the second equation, divided by 4 to get this following equation here. And looking at this equation, the easier way to solve this would be by elimination method, right? You can add vertically down and kind of notice that here, they're opposite sign, and then they both have the 1 here. So if I were to add vertically down, this W is going to cross out. A plus A is 2A equals, and then if you add this, you get 560. Divide both sides by 2, you get A equals 280, where A represents the airplane speed, so we know the airplane is going at 280 miles per hour. Now, we can take that A value and plug it into either one of those two equations, right? Let's say we decided to put it into the first equation. So I'm going to take that first equation here and substitute 280 here for A, which gives you this equation right here. And then to isolate the variable W, we can subtract 280 on both ends. You get W equals 40. So that means the wind speed is at 40 miles an hour. So our airplane is traveling at 280 miles an hour, and then the wind speed is at 40 miles per hour.